All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a huge question, one that's on the minds of millions of people who've had amazing success with GLP-1 meds. What happens when you stop? What's the exit strategy?
So, you've done it. You've pulled off what feels like a modern-day miracle, right? Losing all that weight with what people are calling the magic needle. But here's the thing. The real work? It's just getting started. You may have won the battle, but the war for long-term maintenance is just now beginning.
Yeah, it's so common it's actually got a name, the Ozempic Rebound. And this is the fear, isn't it? The thing that keeps people thinking they have to stay on that weekly shot forever. It's the very real, very scary possibility that you stop the medication and all that weight you lost comes roaring back, and sometimes it brings friends.
Okay, so how do we stop this from happening? Well, first, we've got to understand the villain of the story. And let me tell you, it's not what you think. It has nothing to do with your willpower. The villain is actually your own powerful, ancient biology.
Look, if we're going to win this war, we have to know our enemy. And it's not a lack of willpower, I promise. Your body isn't trying to mess with you. It's got one job and one job only: survival. It sees your incredible weight loss as a terrifying famine, and it will do anything it can to save you by getting that weight back.
And right there, that's the conflict, isn't it? It's this huge internal battle. Your conscious mind, your goal, is to maintain this new, healthier weight. But your body, it's running on ancient software. It's screaming, famine, we need to get that weight back to survive. You are literally in a biological tug-of-war with yourself. And this is how your body fights back. As you lose weight, it gets super efficient. It goes into what you can call power save mode. And your metabolism, your resting metabolic rate, can drop by as much as 15%. Think about that. Your hunger is coming back with a vengeance, but your body's engine is burning fewer calories than ever before. It's the perfect storm for weight regain. Now, this whole biological battle, it's not just a personal struggle. It's actually scaling up and playing out on the world stage, and it's creating this massive headache for public health. I mean, just look at how fast things are moving. In 2023, GLP-1s were all anyone could talk about. By 2025, the World Health Organization is adding them to its list of essential medicines. But with that huge demand, you guessed it, a ton of fake products are flooding the market. So while getting these drugs to more people is great, it's definitely a double-edged sword.
And here's the real issue. Getting these drugs to more people is a huge win for public health, no doubt, but it's also created this global gold rush. We're essentially treating a worldwide problem with a powerful Band-Aid, a kind of hormonal bypass, but we're completely forgetting to give people the instructions for what to do after. There's just no roadmap for the off-ramp.
And that, right there, brings us to what I think is the most critical part of this whole conversation: your personal exit strategy. How do you build that off-ramp for yourself? Okay, think of it like this. When you're on one of these medications, you're basically pumping a superpowered version of your body's I'm full signal into your system. It's like your gut is shouting at your brain through a megaphone, "Hey, we're full, stop eating."
But here's the thing about your brain. It's incredibly smart, and it adapts. When someone is screaming at it all day, what does it do? It starts to tune them out. It literally turns down the volume by reducing the number of receptors. It gets used to that megaphone. So what happens when you stop the medication? The megaphone disappears. Poof! Your gut goes back to producing its natural, quiet signal, just a little whisper that you're full. But your brain? It's not listening for a whisper anymore. It's been trained to listen for a shout. It has basically gone deaf to feeling full. And that is why those first 90 days off the drug are what people call the great filter of weight maintenance.
So, the big question is, how do you fix this? How do you reteach your brain to hear the whisper and fire up your metabolism again? The answer isn't just try harder. No, it's a smart, 4-point biological strategy to get your body back in the driver's seat.
All right, step 1 and 2. First, you basically become your own Ozempic factory. How? Fiber. Getting over 30 grams of fiber every day forces your gut to wake up and start producing its own natural GLP-1. Second, you have to teach your body to be flexible. This means creating low insulin windows, basically giving your body breaks from insulin spikes by spacing out your meals. This teaches it to become a hybrid engine, one that can switch over and burn fat for fuel when it needs to.
Okay, now for what might be the single most overlooked and most important piece of the puzzle: your muscle. You got to think of your muscle as your metabolic campfire. It's what's burning calories 24/7, even when you're just sitting on the couch. Here's the scary part.
When you lose weight really fast on these drugs, if you're not careful, a huge chunk of that loss, we're talking up to 40%, can be that precious muscle. So how do you protect that campfire? Protein. You have to hit your protein goal. And the target is simple. 1 gram of protein for every pound of your goal body weight. Not your current weight, your goal.
And this is a really important distinction. Protein protects the muscle you already have, but it's resistance training that builds more. Building new muscle is, without a doubt, the only real insurance policy you have for your metabolism. You have to build that hardware, that new muscle, before you stop the medication so your body knows what to do with calories once that hormonal bypass is gone.
So all of this really points to a huge shift in how we should think about these drugs, a much healthier perspective, I think.
Look, let's be crystal clear. These medications are life-saving tools. They are incredible, but they aren't a cure. We can't just medicate our way out of an environment that's filled with ultra-processed food and encourages a sedentary lifestyle. They are not a permanent fix for that.
Which brings us to the final and I think the most powerful takeaway from all of this. You've got to use the medication as a bridge, not as your final destination. It's giving you this incredible, precious window of time to build the foundation, the habits, the muscle, the metabolic health that you're going to need for the rest of your life.
So it all comes down to this, really. This medication has given you a bridge to a whole new life. The question is, are you ready to build what's waiting on the other side? Don't just stand on the bridge and admire how far you've come. And please, don't be the person who gets to the other side only to hit the undo button. Cross that bridge and start building a future that's healthy and sustainable for good.